All right, we're live.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the final, it seems, meeting of the Banking Committee for this legislative session. Wednesday, March 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone out there. I look forward to a productive meeting today as we move these important bills forward, and ask my co-chair and ranking members if they'd like to offer any comments.
Well, I just want to congratulate all of us on having a very, very productive session thus far. Great committee meetings. I think we have a really strong agenda of banking bills that address the most pressing issues in our state. And I just want to congratulate everyone for their participation and cooperation and collaboration. And I think we can all be very proud of what we have achieved together.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Rep. Dolnicki.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Madam Chair. And first of all, I would like to express my condolences to our chair, Jason Doucette, on a loss in his family. And I would like to have a moment of silence for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Rep. Dolnicki. I appreciate that. I lost my father yesterday after a long battle with cancer, and a long and painful battle in which he was suffering towards the end. So I appreciate the condolences. Thank you.
And I, along with many, will be keeping you and your family in our prayers in this trying time. So today we have our final JFing meeting, and I'm ready to go. Thank you, Mr. Chair and Madam Chair.
Thanks, Rep. Dolnicki. Senator Berthel.
Good morning to my chairs and my ranking, and Jason, of course, you're in my thoughts and prayers as well, and I'm very sorry for your loss. I would echo what my colleague in the Senate, Senator Castor, said. We did some good work. I always, when I look at the JF deadlines and the dates on that terrible spreadsheet we send out, this one right here with all of it, when you look at the Banks Committee, we're fortunate because we finish a lot earlier than some of the other committees, and we're at that point today where we have our presumably our final bills for consideration. And again, I think we've done a respectful job of keeping the focus on things that are necessary given the times that we're living in. So without any further ado, thank you to the chairs and my ranking, and let's get started.
Thank you, Senator Berthel. And yes, this presumes to be our final JF meeting, but of course anything can happen. Our deadline is technically tomorrow, but in order to make sure that we have enough time to produce JF reports and such, we are meeting today. It is of course always possible that there may be other meetings in the future. So with that, I will move on to item 3 on our agenda, bills for review, starting with number 1, SB 891, an act concerning the Ezekiel Santiago foreclosure mediation program and other alternatives to foreclosure. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Move to JFS to the floor. Yes?
Yes.
Sorry, I forgot to mention that detail. Okay, is there a second for that motion?
Second.
Seconded by Representative Bohr. I'll just start by saying that this bill, I believe, is the most significant piece of legislation that's going to come out of our committee this session, and certainly the most timely. The issue of foreclosures and mortgages is squarely within the cognizance of this committee, and I think is one of our most important charges. with the pandemic, certainly there is a potential, and we have already seen, and no one can certainly predict the future, but there is the potential for a good deal of financial distress in people's lives moving forward. So again, I think this is very timely, and is critically important that we show our constituents that we are here to help in those situations. I will note that the JFS language with respect to changes that have happened to this bill since it was originally raised and had a hearing. Two significant things that I want to point out. First, this bill has been combined with HB 6493, which was an act concerning the Emergency Assistance Loan Program. The thought is that in combining these concepts, we have one robust foreclosure related bill intended to provide relief to our constituents. And we have all of the foreclosure concepts packaged into one comprehensive piece of legislation that I think we can all be proud of. So just so you're aware, 6493, which received a hearing, has been combined with what was Senate Bill 891 into one larger package. The second significant change that I'd like to point out is that what was formerly Section 6 in Senate Bill 891, which was a concept which would have required state chartered institutions and state regulated mortgages to provide an opportunity for forbearance and other loss mitigation alternatives, similar to what's provided for federally insured mortgages. We heard a good deal of testimony about that. And in looking at that further, there were also some potential legal constitutional issues if we were to try to apply that retroactively. I think is an open question. That was one of the things that was being contemplated. So what we've done is we have removed that section of the bill. We did, in fact, hear a lot of testimony and commentary after the hearing in opposition by our community banks, particularly. So we've taken that out. I think without that, this bill still provides a number of good protections and avenues for our constituents to work out their mortgages and work through any financial distress that they may be encountering. So I think is a good bill, and I'm proud of the work that we did on it. And with that, if there are any other comments, I see Representative Delnicki has his hand up. Representative Delnicki.
I finally figured out how to do that. A couple of questions for the chair. Would this foreclosure mediation program and alternatives to foreclosure apply to the folks with the crumbling foundations, which I realize is a very unique situation, and many of the representatives and senators here do not share that same problem in their district, but it is a big problem in my district, and of course I want to help the folks in my district. Would it apply to those folks?
It absolutely does. It absolutely does. And in fact, I would submit it applies very well and is a great way to mediate for those folks. We did, as you know, have a bill that would have required a forbearance for folks who are affected by the crumbling foundations. That was also something that was opposed by the banking community and maybe problematic in certain respects. But I think even without that, this foreclosure mediation program provides an excellent venue and a vehicle for folks to work through those issues with their lenders. So yes.
For that reason, I will be supporting this, but I can understand those that may not support this bill. Again, it is a very unique situation that will be going on for many years in my district and districts surrounding me. And for that reason, I am supporting it. But again, I can understand why others might not. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thanks, Rep. Delnicki. Senator Bethel.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I appreciate all of your comments on this, and obviously as part of the leadership of the committee, the work that we've done to get this to the spot that it's in today. Unfortunately, I need to express today here in the meeting that there is still some concerns from constituents, both business and individual, with respect to what we will do with passage of this. So I think that we've shown through this committee that we can continue to have dialogues, even though our JF deadline, as we spoke to, is tomorrow. But I think this bill will pass out of the committee today with some no votes on it for, again, the infamous flag, if you will, for just allowing for some additional dialogue to take place between committee members, between our constituents. And I guess the no today on this bill or any other bill doesn't necessarily express a complete distaste for the bill or lack of support. It's really more to flag it for additional conversation. So I think we will see some no's on this today because of concerns that remain, but I encourage my colleagues to continue to have dialogue regarding this bill. And again, I appreciate the work, having been part of it, that we went through to get the bill to where it is today, because I think it's much better than what we started with. But there is still some opposition to it within some of the members of the committee and with our constituency. So thank you very much.
Understood. Thank you, Senator Bethel. Representative Gucker.
Yes, good morning. I will be supporting this bill. I wanted to also thank Representative Delnicki for changing the name to a name that I can get behind. We all know how important this was to Zeke, one of our fallen comrades of a couple of years ago, who through this committee I was nice enough to be able to meet him and actually get to know him. So I think this pays a good tribute to him, but also I think this gives people the breathing room that they need to get through this, not only this pandemic, but also, like Rep. Delnicki also said, the issues going on in his community with the crumbling foundations, and who knows, maybe other things that may creep up. I think this committee has worked long and hard, and I do commend and respect Senator Burstell, where we all sat down and went through all of this together. We really, I think, hashed out a very good bill, and I will be supporting this wholeheartedly. I think it's a great bill.
Thank you, Representative Gucker. All right, anyone else? I don't see any hands at the moment. So with that, we have a motion and a second. So I'll ask the clerk to take the roll.
All right. As usual, if you could stay muted until it is your turn to vote, and then state your name and your vote. On Senate Bill 891 and the motion to JFS it to the floor. Representative Doucette, how do you vote?
Representative Doucette votes yes.
Senator Kasser.
Senator Kasser votes yes.
Representative Delnicki.
Representative Delnicki votes yes.
Senator Berthel.
Senator Berthel votes no.
Representative Gucker.
Representative Gucker votes yes.
Senator McCrory. Senator Bradley. Senator Hartley. Representative Baker.
Representative Baker votes yes.
Representative Borer.
Representative Faure votes yes.
Representative Paolillo,
Representative Paola votes yes.
Representative Perone, Representative Stallworth, Representative Ziogas,
Ziogas votes yes.
thank you. Representative D'Amelio, Representative Fusco,
Representative Fusco votes no.
Representative Lanu,
Representative Lanu votes no.
and Representative McGorty.
Representative McGorty votes no.
Thank you. Did I miss anyone?
No,
Okay.
and I will just let folks know that it is our intention to keep the votes open today until 1 p.m. to allow those who are in other meetings this morning to vote. I understand there's quite a few hearings going on, and I know our other committee members have responsibilities and chairing those hearings. So hopefully that allows us enough time to get everybody to get their votes in. Okay, so we'll move on to item number 2 on our agenda, which is Senate Bill 941, an act concerning the assignment of certain property tax water sewer liens. Can I have a motion to JFS this bill to the floor?
So moved.
Moved by
Second.
Representative
From Senator
Delnicki,
Berthel.
seconded by Senator Berthel. Okay, I will just again start by saying that this bill has a few changes in it, or one significant change from the bill that was originally raised and we saw at the hearing. That section which reduced the interest rate that applied to these municipal tax liens from 18% to 6% has been eliminated from this JFS language. We had a significant amount of testimony and opposition on that, most notably from our municipal officials, our municipal tax collectors. I think the concept of the interest rate is one that we want to continue to certainly keep our eye on. And I know there's other committees of the legislature who have looked at that and will continue to look at that. But for now, I think the rest of the bill is quite good in that it provides a lot of protections and guardrails that are currently not there, governing the use and enforcement of these tax liens once they are assigned to these third-party collectors. So I think what's left is certainly not the same bill, but is a good bill. Representative Delnicki.
I'll be glad when we're off of Zoom. I wholeheartedly agree. And quite honestly, I made proposals in planning and development on this. And I've had constituents that have had issues with the fact that there was very little or no regulations or guidelines on how these liens were handled when they were assigned to a third party. And that's key and critical. And I would ask the committee if there would be unanimous consent to start a consent calendar and place this on there.
I have no
With that-
objection, Mr. Chair. I have no objection for a consent calendar.
Right.
Great
Seeing no
idea.
objection, we will start a consent calendar and place this item on it. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, then. We're going to move on to item number 3, HB 5608, an act requiring investment advisors to inform clients of their ability to name beneficiaries or contingent beneficiaries for their assets. Is there a motion on that one?
I'd like
So
to make a
moved.
motion to JF this to the floor.
I think Rep Fusco. Got it. Just a second before you. Would you like to second that, Representative Gucker?
I will second. He's quicker with the Zoom buttons than I am.
He turned it on and off. Yes, just in time. Okay, great. So we have a motion and a second to JF this to the floor. Would like to thank again Rep. Fusco for bringing this bill forward. I think it's a good common sense piece of legislation, and I will certainly be supporting it. Any other discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Representative Delnicki. Yes.
I would ask for unanimous consent to put this on the consent calendar.
Okay. See no objection. So it is placed on the consent calendar. Next, we have HB 6453, an act requiring the banking commissioner consider the performance of certain banks under the Community Reinvestment Act before approving the establishment of certain loan production offices. Is there a motion to JFS this to the floor?
So moved.
Moved by Rep. Delnicki. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Representative Gucker. Okay, and I'll just again give a summary of the JFS language for this one. There are two sort of broad concepts in here. One was the original bill, which was a proposal that came to us from the commissioner of the Department of Banking. And we heard some testimony about that. The second one is a new concept, which we also heard some testimony about at the hearing from the commissioner and others, which is the concept of convening a working group to take a closer look at the Community Reinvestment Act, which is a federal law, but which is also applied here in Connecticut under our statutes and administered by the Department of Banking. And specifically, the charge of that working group is to look at the CRA as a way to provide incentives or to provide credits for activities that we want to encourage in our state. And namely, that is to incentivize banks and credit unions to open branches in communities without adequate banking services, to offer deposits without overdraft fees to low and moderate income individuals, which is something we also heard about in our hearing, and to offer loan products to individuals in low and moderate income neighborhoods. So I look forward to the work of this working group. I think it's tremendously important, and I certainly am happy to support this and happy that we were able to come to some agreement on this. Any other discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Rep. Delnicki.
I'm again asking for unanimous consent to move this to the consent calendar.
Okay. I do not see any objection, so it shall be placed on the consent calendar. Thank you, Rep. Delnicki. Okay, moving on. Item 5, HB 6454, an act concerning notice by Connecticut banks of the closure of certain branch or limited branch locations. Is there a motion to JF this to the floor?
So moved.
Moved by Representative Gucker. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Senator Kasser. Any discussion on this one? This is a straight JF, no changes to the language. We did hear some testimony on this one. I will submit that this bill is still a work in progress. I think we need to do some more work to address any concerns with it. But I think the concept itself is an important one, and certainly I hear from a lot of constituents who express their dismay at bank branches closing, at banks consolidating and merging and closing branches. And I think it affects our community in a significant way. So again, I think this bill will continue to be a work in progress, but I think the concept is important to keep on our agenda. Any other discussion? Senator Berthel.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Agreed. I think that the biggest issue for some of our members and myself is that this is only applicable to our state chartered banks, which only represent about 8% of the market, and that we did hear testimony, as you spoke to, from one of the larger state chartered banks, from their CEO, who spoke to the fact that their internal policies actually do more than what is prescribed in this legislation. So I'm not sure that that the legislation is necessary at this point, but to your point, I think we can continue to have dialogue on this, and maybe we get to a point where this is is voted out of committee, pushed forward for at least keeping some attention on the issue. And I think that's kind of what you were alluding to a moment ago. So I think there will be, again, some no votes today, just because of some of the mechanics with this. But again, I appreciate the fact that we did have a good dialogue and we did hear some good testimony on this bill in committee. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Senator. Yes, I do share the concern, and I am sensitive to imposing additional things on our community banks. So that continues to be a concern of mine as we work on this concept moving forward. Representative Delnicki. Unmute, please.
Some people probably wish that I could never find my unmute button, but
no.
I got one of my colleagues laughing there. Actually, two, no, three. All kidding aside, having served 2 terms as mayor in my community, I think it's paramount that a chief elected official is notified when a branch is going to be closed. And yes, it should be both state chartered and federally chartered. But at least this gets the ball rolling and basically assuages a concern I had when I was mayor, when things like this would occur and it would come as a surprise and constituents would ask why. So I will be supporting this today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Rep. Delnicki. Any other comments or discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll on this one?
On House Bill 6454, the motion to JF it to the floor. Representative Doucette, how do you vote?
Rep. Doucette votes yes.
Senator Kasser.
Senator Castro votes yes.
Representative Delnicki.
Representative Delnicki votes yes.
Senator Berthel.
Senator Berthel votes no.
Representative Gucker.
Representative Gucker votes yes.
Senator McCrory. Senator Bradley. Senator Hartley. Representative Baker.
Representative Baker votes yes.
Representative Borer.
Representative Borer votes yes.
Representative Paolillo.
Representative Paolillo votes yes.
Representative Perone. Representative Stallworth. Representative Ziogas.
Ziogas is yes.
Representative D'Amelio. Representative Fusco.
Representative Fusco votes yes.
Representative Lanou.
Representative Lanou votes no.
And Representative McGorty.
Representative McGorty votes yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks everyone. All right, moving on to item number 6, HB 6494, an act concerning the down payment assistance program and affordability incentive zones. Can I have a motion to JFS this to the floor?
So moved.
Moved by Senator Kasser. Is there a second? Second by Representative Gucker. Okay, on this one as well, I will give just a quick summary of the JFS language. Basically, there are two parts to this bill, as the title implies. The first part concerns the down payment assistance program administered by CHFA, which is their primary vehicle to provide first-time home buyers with mortgages. There are certain income limits and other parameters to those loans. It's intended to help lower to moderate income individuals. And what this bill does is expands that program, expands access to that program. It gives more opportunity for closing costs to be covered, which is something that the program has historically been designed to do, but subject to available funding from time to time, that has been taken out of the program. We want to keep it back in and encourage folks to use that program. It also keeps it in line with FHA guidelines and debt to income ratios and such, which again will expand slightly, it seems, but will expand nonetheless. Access to that program, which is a good and successful program. We made some changes to this with input from CHFA. You may note that they did submit testimony on this with concerns about some of the language in particular on that section, and we've worked through all of those concerns, and they are now supportive of this bill. The second half of the bill allows CHFA to create what we're calling affordability incentive zones. And this is essentially a discretionary or permissive program whereby a town could elect and CHFA could designate towns to get more favorable treatment with these down payment assistance loans, which could include reducing the interest rate or allowing a slightly higher loan amount in those communities that want to encourage more use of the down payment assistance program, which also equates to under the 830G section of the statutes, which also equates to providing more affordable housing. So these CHFA mortgages actually count towards affordable housing calculations for towns. I, for one, I represent two towns, one of which is very much interested in finding ways to responsibly increase their share of affordable housing. And this would be one way to do it that I think is perhaps an easier way to do so for towns than some of the other proposals that are out there this session, frankly. So again, it's a good bill. It is now has the support of CHFA, and would encourage everyone to support it here. Any discussion? Any discussion? Senator Berthel.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So we did have some discussion even earlier this morning in caucus with my colleagues, and after some additional review prior to our meeting, I think I'd like to, if there's no objection, to propose this for our consent calendar at this time as well. I think that your explanation was very thorough in terms of some of the items that I had recently reviewed as well. There were a lot of good changes made to it that I think have made the bill a lot more palatable at this point. So I know in our caucus we had discussed possibly some no votes on this bill, but I think at this point we may be in a position to offer it for consent, but I'll allow my colleagues to obviously to chime in if they don't feel that way. So I would move that we place this on the consent calendar if there is no objection.
Excellent. Okay. Any objections or additional comments? Okay.
No objection, Mr. Chair, but just one very quick question. And it pertains to the credit for affordable housing. So if somebody actually just gets the loan, there's a credit for affordable housing granted to a community. Is that correct?
That's correct. Under 830G, currently, one of the things that goes into calculating the number of affordable housing units in your town is the number of CHFA mortgages that people have.
Thank you. And I have no objection with the placing of this on the consent calendar.
Excellent. Okay. Hearing no other objection, we're going to put that one on the consent calendar as well. Okay, and then that brings us to our last item on the agenda today, which is HB 6495, and that concerning equity and fair lending. Can I have a motion to JFS that bill to the floor?
So moved.
Moved by Representative Gucker. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Representative Borer. Okay, and then on this one again, I will just give a quick summary of the JFS language. What changed from the bill that was raised and we heard testimony on in the hearing. Most significantly, what has changed is that the ability of the commissioner to conduct its own fair lending examinations, which under the original language of the bill was mandatory to some degree. It prescribed a certain procedure and a certain number of examinations that should be conducted of each institution every year. That has been made purely permissive. So it creates a power for the commissioner to do it at his discretion. And the way I understand this would work is that the federal regulators conduct these examinations currently. The commissioner could basically participate in those examinations, or could even convene its own examination if it felt it was necessary. The concern from the department was not necessarily in the policy decision to conduct examinations, but rather the potential cost of hiring more examiners and the demands on the staff at the department. So our intent with this language is to alleviate those concerns, to make it purely permissive on the part of the Department of Banking. But certainly we'll be happy to continue to work with them on the language and the procedure to help make sure that this can be implemented. It does not create any additional burdens on the department. The rest of the bill is mostly intact. It simply provides non-discrimination language in the banking statutes more extensively than what was previously there. Essentially, it just makes as a policy statement that the act of redlining is something that certainly is not something that we want to see happening ever in the state of Connecticut. So with that, is there any other questions or discussion? Senator Berthel.
Sorry, I was having trouble raising my hand virtually there. Mr. Chair, again, to not sound like a broken record, there are still some concerns both amongst my caucus, and we also, in some further conversation I've had with the department itself, they still are not happy with ultimately the final language here. So again, I think it's more of a no vote for a flag to ensure that we continue the conversation as opposed to not supporting the bill and the legislative intent of the bill. Just needs a little more work. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Berthel. And certainly am willing to work with the department to clarify or clean up anything in the language that needs to be addressed.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone else? Representative Delnicki.
Sometimes it's easier to do it the old-fashioned way than to try to find the appropriate keys on the keyboard. I concur with Senator Berthel, but I'd like to go one step further on this and just question, doesn't the banking commissioner and his office have the ability to do this now and enforce the rules that are already on statute to prevent any of this from happening?
I would say yes and no. Yes, in that the banking statutes currently allow them to conduct investigations or respond to complaints, and then could effectively, bring into question the license for that entity if, in fact, they have violated sections of the statutes. However, I would say no, in that this bill actually creates an express ability for the commissioner now to conduct its own fair lending examinations, or as I said, to participate to some degree in the federal fair lending examination. So that is something that is new that they're currently not doing. It also, frankly, strengthens a lot of that non-discrimination language and adds more language in. Some of it appears in our CHRO statute, so you could bring an action in CHRO to allege non-discrimination. But some of that same language was not in the banking statutes. So again, it gives the commissioner more broader authority to look at those things, and again to restrict and to identify any potential redlining or discrimination that's taken place in our state.
I thank the good chair for the explanation there. I will be flagging it also, but I would like to be part of that discussion with the commissioner's office and the commissioner, so that I can have a better understanding of exactly what his powers are and are not, because I truly believe he has that power now and could exercise it if he wished. But just for today, I'm flagging it.
Very good. Okay, absolutely, and happy to have you in that discussion. I think, as you know, I'll share with the committee. We had a couple of meetings scheduled and rescheduled with everybody's crazy schedules and hopping on and off Zoom. So happy to have you involved in that discussion. Any other questions or comment on this bill today?
Thanks very much for this opportunity.
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry, I'm hosting my other meeting. I just
Understood.
can't tell,
Senator McCrory.
which bill are you referring to?
This is HB 64945, an act concerning equity and fair lending.
Great bill, should pass.
Thank you, Senator. Okay. Any other questions, comments, discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll on this one?
Okay. House Bill 6495, the motion to JFS it to the floor. How do you vote, Representative Doucette?
Rep. Doucette votes yes.
Senator Kasser?
Senator Kasser votes yes.
Representative Delnicki?
Representative Delnicki, for the purpose of flagging and wanting to be part of the further discussion, is voting no.
Senator Berthel?
Senator Berthel votes no.
Representative Gucker?
Representative Gucker votes yes.
All right. Senator McCrory?
Senator McCrory votes yes.
Senator Bradley? Senator Hartley? Representative Baker?
Representative Baker votes yes.
Representative Borer?
Representative Borer votes yes.
Thank you. Representative Paolillo?
Representative Paolillo votes yes.
Representative Perone? Representative Stallworth? Representative Ziogas?
Ziogas is yes.
Representative D'Amelio? Representative Fusco?
Representative Fusco votes no.
Representative Lanoue?
Representative Lanoue votes no.
And Representative McGorty?
Representative McGorty votes no.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Again, we are going to hold votes open
Oh, we've got a
Till-
consent calendar still.
till 1 p.m. today. Yes, and I was just getting to that. So now
Sorry.
we are going to vote on our consent calendar as well. So let's go ahead and take the roll on that one.
All right. Our consent calendar consists of Senate Bill 941, the motion to JFS it to the floor. House Bill 5608, JF to the floor. House Bill 6453, JFS to the floor. And House Bill 6494, JFS to the floor. On the consent calendar, Representative Doucette, how do you vote?
Doucette votes yes.
Senator Kasser,
Senator Castor votes yes.
Representative Delnicki,
Representative Delnicki votes yes.
Senator Berthel,
Senator Berthel votes yes.
Representative Gucker,
Representative Gucker votes yes.
Senator McCrory,
Senator McCrory votes yes.
Senator Bradley, Senator Hartley, Representative Baker,
Representative Baker votes yes.
Representative Borer,
Representative Borer votes yes.
Representative Paolillo,
Representative Paolillo votes yes.
Representative Perone, Representative Stallworth, Representative Ziogas,
Ziogas is yes.
Representative D'Amelio, Representative Fusco,
Representative Fusco votes yes.
Representative Lanu,
Representative Lanu votes yes.
and Representative McGorty.
Representative McGorty votes yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, everyone. And just a point of clarification, if Chris from LCO is on, I want to be clear, we are holding votes open till 1 p.m. Does that also apply to our consent calendar?
It does.
It does. Okay, great. Just want to clarify that. So we have until 1 p.m. for those who have missed votes. All right. Lastly, I would like to say a word of thanks to our wonderful staff here on the committee. Our heroic and awesome clerk, Don Marzik, who has kept the trains running on time all session for us. We appreciate you very much. Our nonpartisan staff who works with the committee. I see Kristen Miller from OLR and Alex Rieger, who I think he's not on right now, but we extend
he had
our
to step out, but he
okay.
Yeah.
All right, we extend our thanks to Alex and Kristen. They're a great team and they provide great service for us working through it, all of these bills, and we couldn't certainly do it without you. And again, when I say heroic, it also applies to the efforts of our great LCO attorney, Chris Tringali, who is really in the trenches working through all of these drafts and the language. Certainly couldn't do it without him. I know a lot of time goes into that, and I know we're not his only committee. I'm sure we're his favorite committee, and probably the easiest to deal with. I'm sure of it. But nonetheless, we thank him as well for his work and service to the committee. The rest of our caucus staff, our OFA staff as well. We have some interns who have helped out. We appreciate you very much. And again, couldn't do it without everybody. So with that, I think our last item says announcement of time and date of next meeting. There is currently not a next meeting scheduled. I'll offer it up to my co-chair and ranking member. If any other comments before we sign off today?
Just a huge thank you to everybody, but specifically to my co-chair, Rep. Doucette, who's done an enormous amount of work. And we wish, our hearts are with you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. All right, Rep. Delnicki.
And I'd like to echo that. I truly enjoy working with each and every one of you. We may not always agree, but we stay respectful of others' opinions, and that in and of itself is key and critical to getting some things done.
Very good.
And you remain in my prayers.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Mr. Chair, Madam Chair, Ranking Member Delnicki, I agree. We're supposed to challenge each other on issues and bring forth new ideas and whatnot. And I think we have demonstrated again in a second cycle now, because I think we're almost exactly the same leadership team we had the last 2 years. We've demonstrated that we can do that, and without causing any harm to each other. We remain friends outside of this environment as well. So thank you for that, and thank you as well, Jason. Thanks for highlighting the wonderful staff that supports us, because we could not do any of this without any of them. And Dawn, kudos to you in this new COVID Zoom world. And I know that you are you clerk other committees and are an assistant clerk helping your other clerk colleagues out. So I see your name pop up on a lot of other things I'm involved in. So I don't know how you do it, because it's hard enough for us to stay on the track, so to speak. So thanks for that. But thanks to all of the staff, OLR, LCO, all of you. You're wonderful. Thank you. And Jason, again, you're in our thoughts and prayers today. My condolences.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate you all. And we will see you all soon. I'm sure that obviously this is just the one step for these bills, and we will see you all soon back in Hartford. So with that, we're going to recess the meeting until 1 p.m. to hold votes open, at which time the meeting will be adjourned. Thank you. So if you have not voted yet on some of the earlier items and you joined us late, you can hang on and register your votes with Dawn now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Doug, stick around for sure. I think there's a couple more of you.
Okay.
Dawn,
Yeah.
you're gonna take our votes.
I'm gonna take your votes. Just let's give everybody a second to drop out of here, and then I will see who we have left needs to vote. All right. All right. So Doug, we've got
need to be retrained, which of course we allow.
Do you want to do do you have the agenda? Do you know what bills we're voting on?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So the 891, an act concerning the Ezekiel Santiago foreclosure mediation program.
Yes.
Yes.
About those schools that we're not building new.
All right.
Statutory authority.
6454. An act concerning notice by Connecticut banks of the closure of certain branch or limited branch locations.
Yes.
That is, it is very difficult.
You voted on that one, and you voted on that one. So I think we're set.
That's it.
That's it.
How about the consent calendar?
You got the consent calendar just now. That was the last thing we did.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks.
Yep.
Have a good day.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Tony. Sorry about that. I was sending an email saying.
Oh, no
Everybody
problem
come
at
vote.
all. Thank you for taking me here.
No problem. All right. So it's like 4 votes, 1 consent calendar and 3 others.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, we even have Irish music in the background, right?
Yeah, I'm at my restaurant. We're getting ready for this big day.
Fun. All right. So Senate Bill 891. Wait, let me just turn the recording back on. Hold on. Okay, there we go. All right. Senate Bill 891 is an act concerning the Ezekiel Santiago foreclosure mediation program and other alternatives to foreclosure. We're JFSing that to the floor. And
That's
how do
item
you
number
vote?
1. That's item number 1 on the agenda?
Item number 1, yes.
Yeah, I'm a no.
You're a no.
Yeah.
Let me just find your name on my list. There it is. All right. 6, 4, 5, 4. Item number 5 on the list, because my papers got out of order. An act concerning notice by Connecticut banks on the foreclosure of certain branch and limited locations. This is a JF. How do you vote?
No.
Okay. Item number 7, an act concerning equity and fair lending, JFS to the floor.
I'm a no on that one too.
All right, and then we just have the consent calendar. Would you like me to read the titles?
I know what they are.
Okay.
Item 2, 3, 4, and 6, right?
Yes.
I'm a yes.
You're a yes on the consent calendar.
Yes.
Tom does such a good job letting you guys know what's going on. Okay. All right, we're all set then. You have a great
You
day
too.
and enjoy your St. Patrick's Day there.
Thank you, Dawn. I
All right,
appreciate it.
no problem. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Hi, Don.
Hi, Representative. How are
Good. Is
you?
the meeting over?
The meeting is over. I need to get your vote on 4 votes.
Okay.
That's 3 bills and 1 consent calendar.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. Item 1 on the calendar was Senate Bill 891, an act concerning the Ezekiel Santiago foreclosure mediation program and other alternatives to foreclosure.
Is that just a renaming, or does that extend it?
I think it's a JFS. We combined a couple of things.
Okay. Yes.
I sent you the language yesterday. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Then we have House Bill 6454, which was a straight JFS, an act concerning notice by Connecticut banks of the closure of certain branch or limited branch locations.
Yes.
And House Bill 6495, it was a JFS to the floor. We changed something about the ability of the commissioner to conduct their own fair lending exams. It was mandatory in the first version, and we changed it to a permissive language.
Yes.
Okay. And then there was just the consent calendar, which consisted of Senate Bill 941, an act concerning the assignment of certain property, tax, water, and sewer liens. A comma is an amazing thing. An act, or House Bill 5608, an act requiring investment advisors to inform clients of their ability to name beneficiaries or contingent beneficiaries for their assets. House Bill 6453, an act requiring the banking commissioner to consider the performance of certain banks under the Community Reinvestment Act before approving the establishment of certain loan production offices. And House Bill 6494, an act considering the down payment assistance program and affordability incentive bill. How do you vote on the consent calendar?
Yes, on the consent.
All right, we're all set. You have a
All
great
right.
day.
Well, thank you. No Republican amendments today.
Nothing fun today.
Okay. All right. All right. Thank you very much.
Have a good day.
You too.
Hello. accountant's like, it has money, but it's not letting me file. It's weird. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll refer this, okay? Chris, I'll be right with you. Okay. All right. Bye now. All right. Thank you, Representative Perone. I'm sorry that didn't work out originally. Hello, Chris, are you there?
Oh, there it is. I was wondering why you weren't reacting. I was saying that the phone works better sometimes. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's touchy. The technology
Yeah.
is not our friend some days.
And I'm driving the finance guys nuts because I have to keep hopping out of the finance meeting to talk here. So now I got two. No, it's fine. I got 2 Zoom meetings going.
Okay, well, we'll do this real quick.
Sure.
It's 4 votes.
Right.
I am recording. Okay. So the first one is Senate Bill 891, an act concerning the Ezekiel Santiago foreclosure mediation program and other alternatives to foreclosure.
Yes, I'm
the JFS to the floor.
I'm good. Yeah. Yes.
Now I just need to find you on the list. There you are. Okay. 6454, an act concerning notice by Connecticut banks of the closure of certain branch or limited branch locations.
Yes.
JF.
Yes.
An act concerning equity and fair lending. That was a JFS.
Yes.
And then our consent calendar. Would you like me to read the titles, or do you know what's on it?
No, I went through it. It's fine. I'm good on.
And do you vote in the affirmative or the
affirmative?
Yes. Okay. Well, then we are set.
Well, thank you. You did a great job, and
Huh?
you did a great job this session.
Thank you.
And look forward to seeing you on the floor someday.
Yeah, well, yeah, maybe someday I'll be fully vaccinated in about 2 weeks. So
yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah, they may let us come back eventually.
Yeah.
So enjoy finance.
Yeah. Thanks. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello, Senator.
Hey, how you doing? Sorry about that. Right at the what do you call it? The line here.
You're doing everything you're doing a lot of things at once today, I'm sure.
I'm sure always.
Always. Okay, so we have 4 votes, 3 on individual bills and 1 on a consent calendar, okay?
Okay.
Senate Bill 890, oh wait, let me just unpause the recordings. There we go. All right. Senate Bill 891, an act concerning the Ezekiel Santiago foreclosure mediation program and other alternatives to foreclosure. How do you vote?
I obviously very much voted in the affirmative for that bill.
I suspected as much. All right. House Bill 6454, an act concerning notice by Connecticut banks of the closure of certain branch or limited branch locations. This is the JF to the floor.
Senator Bradley votes in the affirmative.
Thank you. House Bill 6495, it's a JFS to the floor. It's an act concerning equity and fair lending.
Senator Bradley votes in the affirmative.
Okay. And then we have the consent calendar with the remainder of the bills. Do you need me to read the bills or?
No, I'm familiar with them. Thank you. I vote in the affirmative for them. Which is funny because if it's consent, I imagine if I was the Lone Ranger saying I don't vote to approve it, right? It's like, I don't know what happens in the rules when that happens.
Yeah, we have discussed it. And I really, there's all kinds of like, what will you do if, but
yeah.
hopefully I don't have to figure it out.
Right. Thank
All
God.
right. You have a great day.
Thank you. Likewise. Talk to you soon.
All right. Bye now. Hello, Joan. There you go.
Hi. Sorry, I'm back. Did all my
Good.
Irish stuff.
There you
We're
go.
done. Yeah, I know. Hey, okay, thanks, Dawn. So I was on a little bit this morning for the caucus.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
So what we have is 3 votes plus a consent calendar.
oh, okay, great. All right. So go ahead. What are the votes?
All right. Senate Bill 891, an act concerning the Ezekiel Santiago foreclosure mediation program and other alternatives to foreclosure.
Right.
That was a
So
JFS
anyway,
to the floor.
that was a JFS. Yeah, we caucused this morning.
Right.
So did this go party line?
Yes.
It did. Yeah, so I'm going to support it.
All right. Let's see, then we have House Bill 6454, an act concerning notice by Connecticut banks of the closure of certain branch or limited branch locations. That was a JF to the floor.
What that was just a straight JF.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there were only 3 Republican dissenters.
Yeah, no, I'm going to vote yes for that. That's 6454.
Yes.
Okay, I might have wrote this down wrong. I thought it was 53. Okay.
54 was number 5 on our agenda.
Oh, okay, okay.
53 is on the consent calendar.
Oh, okay.
And then 6495, which is number 7 on our agenda.
That's consent? Oh.
Is an act concerning equity and fair lending. That was its own vote.
Okay.
That was a JFS.
Yeah. And that's where they said the feds were going to be doing this process and it could be duplicative. Was that straight party line, Dawn?
Yes.
It was?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
There was the amendment, originally the ability of the commissioner to conduct their own fair lending exams was somehow mandatory, and we changed it to permissive language so that they can but don't have to.
So there was it.
Is really all I kind of understood of it.
Yeah. Okay. So, but it voted, it passed without any problem, right? So it's not going to be, yeah. Okay. So I'm going to vote no on that.
Okay. All right. And then we have a consent calendar.
Yep.
Senate Bill 941, an act concerning the assignment of certain property, tax, water, and sewer liens.
Okay.
House Bill 5608, an act requiring investment advisors to inform clients of their ability to name beneficiaries or contingent beneficiaries for their assets.
Yeah.
The first one was a JFS. This second one is a JF. That's
okay.
The second one is the bill that Representative Fusco had asked for after the issue, having this issue with after his parents passed.
Okay.
House Bill 6454, an act requiring the banking commissioner to consider the performance of certain banks under the Community Reinvestment Act before approving the establishment of certain loan production offices. That was a JFS. There's an addition of convening a working group to take a closer look at things.
Okay.
And then there's House Bill 6494, an act concerning the down payment assistance program and affordability incentive zones. That was a JFS.
Yeah, that's okay.
So
what's
how do
the
you
S
vote on the consent calendar?
Hey, Dawn, do you know what the S was on 6494?
6494, the S was, I don't know exactly what it did. It was LCO 5552. I emailed it to you yesterday.
Oh, okay. I didn't read it. All right. Well, it's on consent, so that's fine. Yeah. So we've got 4 things on consent, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So I'm a yes. Senator Hartley affirmative on consent.
Okay, then we're good.
We're good. Okay.
Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Dawn. Have a good day.
You too.
Okay. How old are the twins?
Almost 23.
Oh my God. No, it can't be.
How about you? Are you a grandma yet?
Yes, just this past in COVID, mind you. Baby's 6 months old.
Oh my
So
goodness.
I know in the middle of COVID, it was like, ugh. But anyway, so we couldn't see her, really for the first 6 weeks and stuff. So we see her now, and she's cute, and she's getting cuter by the day. Yeah.
You'll have to text me a picture of her.
I'll give you a picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
23. Yeah,
Oh, good.
Figured yours had mine beat by a few years, so the grandma thing was probably likely.
Yeah, exactly. I know. But too fast.
Yeah, I can't believe how much they grow, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They do.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you. You have a great day.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.